Good morning, guys. I'm sitting here with my morning coffee and I was watching YouTube for a little bit. Mm, Coffee is so good in the morning. I woke up around 5 this morning. It's now 6:30. I've been doing some stuff. Um, but I want to talk to you guys about a voice message that is getting sent around. Um, I would like you to be skeptical of stuff that's sent because they say, oh, a friend of mine's read this or said this because a friend of mine is a doctor and wrote this. There's no original source attached to it. No one knows the person who wrote this or said this or anything. So be careful with that type of information. Make sure if an information is passed around, if you get an information, make sure you have a source code to it that you know you can go back and see where it comes from and who has said it to make sure it is viable information. So what do I have up here? Well, I got smacked about this a few times when I posted my last video. This worldometer is based on World Health Organization number. Now, please remember these numbers about corona are numbers that are people that has been looking for care, that has gotten sick enough that got looking for care. A lot of people that get coronavirus doesn't even know they had it. They just had a slight flu and they got better and everything is good. So these numbers that I'm showing you here is the numbers that come into World Health Organization. These are legit numbers. You can find the source code to it. I also got smacked because no one believed. Well, a lot of you did, but I got some messages. Not that one. There we go. That's the one I was looking for. About this, when I said over 108,000 has died of flu this year, and the cigarette causes. I mean, these are legit numbers. These are from World Health Organization. Let's go. Mostly people complain about the smoking. So let's see. I'll put it up higher because it seems to be better to read. So, deaths caused by smoking this year. And this is where the information for this page comes from. You have this World Health Organization. So you have a legit source. You can click on this and get to open link in new pad. So we can open it over here and you will see that it's World Health Organization. It is viable data. This is data to go from. So these are numbers that are real. This is what's happening. This is what's going on. So one of the things that's said in the voice message is not to smoke. Well, corona is mainly hitting the respiratory area. That's why it's so dangerous and why so many people have died from it. But the people who have died from it are the same people that are high risk people up here. Seasonal flu deaths. So those are the same people that are high risk for corona. And as you can see so far this year, a lot more, over 108,000 has died from regular flu. Regular flu, compared to corona's 13,000. Will this number go up? Absolutely, of course it will go up. Because of this. This will also go up. Okay? All of this, we die. Let's go up here. How many people die? Today, over 44,000 people has already died. And this is, now remember, this is, I think this was GMT time. I read it somewhere. I'm too tired to go look. Let's close that one now. I'm too tired to go look for it. Thankfully, we don't have a glass cock on this one, like I did on the last one. These numbers are all built on statistics from the World Health Organization and other viable sources. Because you can just click on the side, you can move on and see where the information, like here, CDC and World Health Organization. Oh, sorry, hidden. Sorry, baby. I'm gonna close you down. you can see that even. Okay, so there you can see World Health Organization, CDC. And you can click on these links. So I open them in a new tab. Seasonal flu estimates worldwide is one of the links, and this is CDC. And let's go to this one. They had two, so open link in you. I have to, if I move you around, it's because I have to move the phone out of my face to see what I'm clicking at. So this is the World Health Organization statistics. I'm sorry, I should mute that channel. I'm gonna, sorry. Yeah, it's Discord talking to me. Over 650 people die of respiratory diseases linked to seasonal flu each year. But, and here comes the interesting part, this number this year might go down. And why do you say that? Because it doesn't make any sense. If a respiratory sickness like corona, you know, it should go up. But we are taking a lot harder precautions this year than we normally do. Now, corona is, according to, I was reading the Swedish health department, I guess this is like the Swedish, the health thingy. Words. I haven't had my coffee yet. I need another sip. So I was reading through here because there's a lot of misinformation going around. So I was reading, there's a lot of questions and stuff here. So I was reading how it's contagious, what the mortality is, how do you get sick, can you get corona several times. According to this, it's still unclear if you are, like regular viruses, you are normally immune if you had it once. They still don't have the proof of that, but most likely, because that's what happened with normal viruses. You get, you build up an immunity to it once you had it. And this is, and all of this stuff. So there was a lot of information on how to minimize spreading and how to, you know, a lot of stuff. So this is the kind of information you should be looking for like reliable sources. Don't just keep spreading a voice message. And she even says in the voice message that it's a friend of her got it from a doctor that got it, you know. Don't do it. Even if it sounds like good information, find real information with reliable sources. Let's talk about something else. The hoarding issue. We're still producing toilet paper. We are still producing food. We are still producing all of these stuff. There are no reason for hoarding. Now, the reasons why the shops are empty, and I actually found this on YouTube. One of the YouTubers went and interviewed a store owner. One of the major stores in Stockholm, one of the big stores in Stockholm, they went and interviewed him. I think it was Stockholm anyway. Don't quote me on that. It was one of the biggest stores anyway. And it's a big food chain all over Sweden. And he said the reason why the shelves are empty is because people are hoarding and the shops are not wasn't prepared for that. And it takes a lot of time to reorganize delivery schedules and the amount of stuff that needs to get delivered to the stores because they have like a regular basis. They know some occasions will need more of one thing or another. Like in Sweden, we eat ham for Christmas. So for Christmas, they ordered a lot of ham. So they are pre-ordering because they know that people will buy a ton of ham for Christmas. Now, when people all of a sudden start to hoard like crazy, of course, the shelves are going to be empty. And it takes time for them to get new merch in. It takes a few days to fill up again properly. And there's also no reason to be hoarding because we're still producing toilet paper. We're still producing food. We're still producing all of these stuff. So they will come back. It just takes a bit more time. And stores are a big business. Takes a lot longer to change the routine, to get more drivers in and all of that stuff. Because if you need more supply, then you need more trucks to deliver the supply, right? So if you just chill out and buy what you need. I saw someone buy like having a cart with like 15 bottles of hand soap. When are you gonna use all of that? I know you need to wash your hands a lot. And also remember to use warm water and soap and wash them for at least 30 seconds. That was the latest I found on this health department, the Swedish health department. 30 seconds. Warm water and soap. A lot of that stuff. A thing that a lot of people forget is to sanitize their phone. Because we have our phone in our hands all the time. We are fiddling with it. We are touching it. People say, don't touch your face. Well, you touch your phone and then you touch your face. You touch your phone and you touch your... You can have virus hanging in your hair. There's also a video, and this is also, again, a note of people spreading misinformation. She said, well, change your behavior. If you are touching your face, change your behavior and touch something else, like your hair. But the virus can survive in your hair, too. So if you're touching your hair, you need to wash it. So don't do that. Don't follow that information. That is bad info. So make sure you find the right information on the proper channels. And if you are spreading any kind of information, make sure you have a source like I do here. Deaths by malaria, 2018 people so far this year. So we check where's the information coming from. It's coming from this. You can click it. You can see it's the World Health Organization, which is a reliable source. Deaths caused by smoking this year, again, World Health Organization. Let's scroll up a bit. It seems to film better when it's up here. World Health, Tobacco Control, World Health. It's like a Bible. Over 1 million people so far this year has died of smoking. Corona, 13,000. 1 million. Let's see today. Today, this many people has died of smoking. And this is World Health Organization numbers. So that voice message that gets sent around, say don't smoke. Yeah. And these are the number of cigarettes smoked today. This year. This zero here, that's the now is 1. This number here is 2 millions. 3 millions, and it's just, that's the million. So imagine how many this is. This is crazy. So if you are spreading information, make sure it has a Bible source and the information actually is accurate, and don't just spread it because you think it might be true. That misinformation is really dangerous. One of the things that they said in the message was to leave your clothes out in the sun. Yes, well, that's a truth with modification. Apparently, according to this page, and also not that one. That was just a magazine I was reading. Not, I think I freaking closed the tab. Oh, shoot. Anyway, I was Googling, it was on this page, okay? Hang on. Let's see if I can find the question. So how long can the thing I was looking for was how long the virus can, there it is, survive outside the human body. So it says here that the coronavirus is especially sensitive to dehydration. So to hang the clothes out in the sun will dehydrate the virus, but there's still not enough information on how long you will have to keep it in the sun. And also, the more viruses there are in an object, the more of them will survive longer. So if you are in like a humid area that has high air, what's it called? Air moisture, is that the word I'm looking for? Humid area anyway, that you will have to hang it out pretty long and it might not even help. So wash your clothes. That's a little tip. Wash your clothes, because if you sit on a chair outside, let's go say you go to a cafe and you sit on a chair that has the virus on it. When you come home, you go wash your clothes. Just wash your hands, and then you touch your butt or your thighs or something that has been in contact with it. I mean, so that's one of the things that is helping the corona to spread, is actually just people not thinking about how it can be spread. Now, should you panic? No, don't panic, because simply this virus here, the number of deaths, it looks a lot like this. But we should also go here. Over 95,000 people of the people that has been looking for care. Oops, sorry, let me scroll up. This is as many people that has gotten, that recovered from the people that actually looked for care. Now remember, for a lot of people, this is just a mild cold. Some people don't even know they had it. They got perfectly well and healthy, and most people do survive from it. Now, if you look like this, it looks so horrible. And this also make it look so horrible. But remember, we didn't have full statistics back here. So it's kind of misrepresentative. Because people didn't a lot of people thought, oh, I just have a bad cold. And they didn't go to the doctor to get the information or to know that they even have corona. Now, a lot of people run to the doctor, so a lot more cases get recorded because a lot more people hear about the corona. So therefore, a lot more cases get reported. Also, there's still, people dying from it, and more people will die from it. It's a respiratory disease. So of course, more people will die from it. Same as here. Seasonal flu. It's mainly the respiratory thing. A group of people that I was pointed out that get forgotten in this, because we all say, don't go visit your elderly, be careful if you visit, don't go visit people that with low immune system or people that are already sick or, something. But one of the groups that are forgotten in that is actually diabetics. It's a lot harder for a diabetic to keep their glucose level and the insulin level at a good place when they get sick. And then you add breathing issues on top of that. And for diabetics, people that are in puberty already have a lot of problem keeping their levels even, because a lot of things are changing in their body, so it's tricky. And you add a flu or a cold or stomach bug or anything like that to that issues, and you have problems. Now, what I'm missing in this is actually diabetics deaths, deaths from diabetics. We have road traffic accident, we have suicide, we have alcohol death. Look at that. 556,000 has died so far from alcohol this year. And if we go today, 1,950. A lot more people die from alcohol. So, should you be afraid of corona? No. Should you be careful? Yes. I just keep saying use common sense. And there's, again, I'm going to repeat this, no reason to be hoarding, because we are still producing toilet paper. We're still producing food. It just takes a bit of time to get it to the stores. And if people hoard, then the shelves are going to be empty. It takes some time for it to arrive to the stores and get unpacked, but then people hoard again. So think about how long does your soap normally, last? And maybe buy a little bit more. But you don't need 12 packs of soap. Honey, really? You're going to have soap for a year. Maybe not, but half a year maybe. But, be sensible. Everyone needs to wash their hands. Make sure everyone gets their soap. They're still producing soap. Calm down. You don't need to hoard. Where where was I? Yeah. So one of the things that I'm missing in this health part here and the statistics is actually diabetics. I did Google and found a diabetic foundation. Or was it the American? I don't have that page up because I didn't Google it today. How many die from diabetes? Yeah, let's Google how many dies from diarrhea. I want to find facts and trends. So here we are, World Health Organization. There we go. So let's see where I found it. I found these were the old numbers. I found some newer numbers somewhere. There. That's the infograph I was looking for. So 3.7 million people die. Oops, you can see that, can you? If I do that, see it better? 3.7 million deaths due to diabetes and high blood glucose. So that's the number I'm looking for. The thing is, I was Googling American Diabetes Society, so you can go in and look for yourself. There's a lot of people who has diabetes and doesn't even know it. So let's take that number, 3.7 million, because that's the number of deaths due to diabetes and high blood glucose. So 3,300,703 divided by 12. Oh my goodness. So 138,000 people die each month. According, if I'm taking this number divided by 12, that's the number of people that die each month from diabetes. That's the number I would love to have here, because a lot of people don't even. So the number was 308,000 each month, which would mean times 3, because we're in March. All these other numbers here are March. So 925,000 so far this year from diabetes, approximately. So let's say 900,000 people has died from diabetes so far this year. That's a lot more than has died from HIV. That's a lot more than died from, a lot less than has died from cancer. But I was going to say a lot more than has died from malaria. And it's less than smoking, but a lot more than has died from alcohol. So diabetes is dangerous, and I would really love to have that statistics on this page. So far this year, 925,000 has died from diabetes. That's the number I really want us to talk about, because diabetes is one of those diseases that I have friends whose kids has diabetes, and they get a lot of people has a lot of misinformation and bad knowledge about it, and there's so many people that die every year from diabetes. And one of my friend's kids, well, both kids actually get bullied in school, and people say, you've eaten too much candy. It has nothing to do with that. That's a genetic disease for them. In both cases, it comes from their father, and there's not enough research done on diabetes yet. So that's a high number. Again, let's look at this. 3.7 million each year due to diabetes and high blood glucose. That's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that has diabetes. Now, this talk about type 1 and type 2 diabetes. I saw some recent research on one of the diabetes pages. I think it might have been American Diabetes Society. I'm not 100% sure where I found it because I don't have it up right now. But you can Google it, you can find it. Make sure you use proper sources, like here we were using World Health Organization. So make sure you use viable sources when you find information about stuff. And don't spread stuff that you don't know where it comes from. Like I've heard this from a friend of a friend of a friend who said this. And news media, they're not reliable sources. Because if you're scared, you will watch them. And if you watch them, they will make more money. So to hype things up and use actually clickbait news is a lot of what they do. I mean, just use your common sense. Like I said before, make sure to wash your hands. Don't go anywhere if you're sick. Don't be careful. Don't go visit people that are in the risk zone. So compare this coronavirus compared to flu. Flu is still leading, but I think this year less cases will die in the flu because we are a lot more careful. We're a lot more careful. So people use a lot of hand sanitizers, which is really good. It keeps this flu number here down. So that would be awesome. So, because it's the same people in the same risk group. People with asthma, people with allergies, people with low immune system, people with diseases, people are older, and all of that. And this voice message says don't smoke. Well, that's common sense. Don't smoke. It's a respiratory disease. It's a disease. Well, the corona hits the respiratory system hardest. So don't smoke. I mean, you're breathing in foreign particles into your body. Of course, smoking is bad. Same thing with vaping. You're breathing in stuff. I mean, we know pollution, breathing polluted air is dangerous. We know that because we breathe in polluted particles. That's what you do when you smoke. You're breathing in polluted particles into your lungs. Of course, it's bad for you. Of course, it's gonna F up your breathing system. Of course, it's gonna do all kinds of harm to you. That's just common, and this is what I keep saying. Use common sense. Use common sense. And just don't panic about it, but be smart about it. And only spread information from reliable sources, like the World Health Organization. Like I'm finding informations on this Swedish website. This is directly translated. It says People's Health Department. So it's like the big thing about corona. And they had a lot of questions here. So if you live in Sweden, go in there and check out. Not all of these are 100% updated. But they update it as soon as they get the information. So what are you supposed to think about when you go by train, bus, or taxi? Can the virus be contagious from human via post and package? That's actually an interesting one. And they say knowledge from similar cases shows that this type of virus is contagious from sick people and not through packages and postal service. Well, that's a truth with yes. Like I said before, they still don't know how long this virus can survive outside the human body, but they know it's very sensitive to dehydration. Now, papers are usually dry, really dry, so that will make it die really fast. So, can it contain? So, according to this information that was sent in the voicemail, it cannot be transferred between human and animals. But they think it comes from a market with animals in China. But there are no information yet if it can be spread. I doubt it, but then again, if you have viruses on you, you pet your dog, you know, we wash our hands. Why not just be careful, you know? One of the reasons why I don't understand why people are so annoyed with being at home and not, I mean, there's some workplaces that has more or less closed down and people have to stay at home. Well, why not take the opportunity to watch some more YouTube? Why not take the opportunity, maybe go to Skillshare, do an online course? You're at home. And 1 second people saying, complaining, oh, I don't want to go to work today. But then they're not allowed to go to work and they go like, oh, I have to stay at home. That's so horrible. But honey, you just said you didn't want to go to work and it's so much work. So much work to go to work. So just use common sense. Wash your hands properly. Don't just dab some water on there and or use cold water and just slap it on there. Use common sense and calm down. Please calm down. And make sure you get the information from reliable sources. Don't spread stuff that you don't know who the sender is, who the original party is. Because spreading misinformation in anything is bad. If you get the wrong information about how something is spread or the wrong information on how, something happens, it's bad. It's bad. So be careful with what information you spread onwards. Be careful. And just use common sense and stop hoarding. We're still producing everything. It just takes a bit of time for the stores to get all the merch in. So, and stop smoking. That's a good reason to stop smoking. Over 1 million people has died from smoking so far this year. Now remember, corona was apparently discovered already late 2019, so the coronavirus has been around longer than this statistic on the smoking. And coronavirus has killed 13,000. And we're freaking out. They have killed 1,113,000 smoking. But a lot of people still smoke, apparently. Today, 4 billion cigarettes. Is that billion? That's 7 there is a million anyway. So, what is that? I think that's a billion. I don't know. No, it's not a billion. That's 7 billion. 7.7. So we still managed to increase number of people. We're still 18 million more people now than we were at the beginning of the year. So a lot less die, a lot less people die. So death this year, 13 million. Birth this year, 31 million. So yeah, that's a big population growth by any standards. Will coronavirus make a dent in this? No. Coronavirus will probably go into this statistics later on when they get this page updated. Because this number is from this. So, yeah. Be careful with what information you spread. Use common sense and stay calm. And remember, wash your freaking hands, you disgusting people. Have a nice day. Bye.